What's up, guys? This is Jeff with WinBigPicks, and today I'll be breaking down my top 4 college football picks for Saturday, September 13th. Real quick, before we recap yesterday and jump into today, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of the winning plays that we're dropping every day. Recapping yesterday, we end up going 1-3-1. Could easily been 3-2, but I mean, at this point in the season for baseball, the books they're just a lot sharper with a lot of their lines. They got a whole season of data to go on. It's just tougher to find an edge. The only guy to hit for us was Jackson Holiday. More than 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. He stayed hot with an RBI single in the third to cash for us in one swing of the bat. Then we had Hurston Waldrop for more than 4 strikeouts. This ended up being a push. I know I mentioned that in the video yesterday that could have happened should things gone wrong, and they went wrong for him because he got lit up for 8 runs, but he was able to squeak out 4 strikeouts for us to push that one. And then for the guys that missed, we had Tarek Skubal for more than 19.5 outs, and he just got roughed up early by the Marlins. Ends up leaving early too with an injury. Hopefully he's all right with the postseason coming up and all. And then Tanner Bibby, less than 32.5 fantasy score. Completely missed on this one because you can't make this shit up. He pitches a complete game shutout, crushes his fantasy score. And then we had Brady Singer, more than 29.5 fantasy score. And if you took him on sleeper, it was only 20 points over there. He hit on there, but on underdog and Prizepicks, he hooked us with 29 points. And I was following the box score late last night. He just was not striking guys out. You know, the Athletics, they usually strike out a lot. I think he had got them for 9 strikeouts last year, but did not get enough strikeouts to push us over the top on that one. But regardless, today's a new day. And before we get to today's picks, just a reminder you guys that over on Betr, they'll give you a free $10 just to sign up if you use our link below and code WINBIGPICKS. Then, on top of that, they give you a 50% deposit match up to $200 on your first deposit, meaning that if you deposit $400, they'll give you another $200 on top. Also available again today, if you sign up, you get that Justin Jefferson free pick. All he needs is just 1 receiving yard to cash that one for you. Paired up with one other pick, you can triple your money. And as usual, if you want to send a screenshot of that first deposit you make on Betr over to our email address on the screen here, give you a free month of our VIP picks. The link to our winnable is down below. Every pick we put out on there is texted right to your phone the second we hit the post button. We still have the NFL and college season pass available if you're just into football. Only got 11 of those remaining. Every VIP football pick we make from now until Super Bowl 60 will be sent right to you. So, on to today. First up, we're taking Garrett Nussmeier, more than 23.5 completions. We took it a couple weeks ago, and we're taking it again because all these guys do is pass the ball. As you can see, hit it both times this year, 7 of the last 10. And the game total is relatively high at 47.5 points. And they're only favored by a touchdown, so it should be competitive throughout. They won't have to give up on the pass and just, run the clock out in the second half. And, I got questions about Florida, too. They got upset last week by unranked South Florida, which took them from being ranked 13th in the country to being unranked now. But, I mean, it is early, and that for Florida, that could just be more motivation for them to bounce back. Regardless, though, I like Garrett here to hit that more than 23.5 completions on this one. And next up, we got Taylon Green, and we're taking him for more than 22.5 fantasy score over on Prizepicks. Now, he's crushed this in both games this year. Up against Ole Miss today. Obviously a tougher test, but the total for this one it's sky high. It's 62.5 points they're expected to be scored, and Ole Miss is only favored by a touchdown, so they're not thinking there's going to be a blowout. The offense, runs through him on the ground, as well as through the air, obviously. As you can see, he's tied for the team lead in rush attempts, getting about 27% of the carries overall, too. I mean, if you just wanted to go rush yards with him on this, that works too. It's 39.5. Ole Miss has been ran all over in both games this season. Ranked 114th in the nation, which is really high for a top 25 team. But I mean, should he get bottled up for any reason or take too many sacks, because in college they count sacks as negative rushing yards for quarterbacks, he should be able to get most of this from passing yards and touchdowns. Again, with that total being as high as it is, they expect some scoring, and I think it's all going to run through him. So 22.5, he should clear this without issue. And pausing real quick here, reminding you guys that we're still teamed up with Wanna Parlay over there. If you sign up using our link in the description and the code WINBIGPICKS, they'll give you a 100% deposit match up to $250 on your first deposit. That's one of the highest I've seen, really, on any of the apps that are out there. And the best thing about Wanna Parlay is that they're the only DFS apps where you can combine player picks with team picks. Team picks being things like spreads, team totals, money line. Only DFS app where you can do that. So check it all out over there with our link below. And the same thing applies. You get a free month of VIP. Send a screenshot your first deposit over on Wanna Parlay over to our email address, and we'll hook you up with that. So back to the picks. Next up, we're taking Jackson Arnold, more than 33.5 rush yards. And as you can see, I mean, rushing, this is just what he does. 7 out of the last 10, he's hit this. 6 out of the last 7. Going up against Southern Alabama, and they just get gashed on the ground. Pretty close to last in the nation on those rushing yards allowed. In Auburn, when it comes to them running, they're running about 60% of the time. Jackson's getting 30% of the carries. Last week, Southern Alabama, they let Tulane QB Jake Retzlaff run all over them for 62 yards in that game. And I expect Jackson to do the same thing in this one. Now, my only concern is they are favored by 24 points. So if the game gets out of control and they go up too big, too early, they could just hand the ball off to the backs later in the game to spare Jackson from any potential injury. But another thing I saw with Jackson was his long rush. 8 out of the last 10 here. He even 6 of the last 7. He's at least ripped one off for 18 yards. With the total that we need him to hit being 33, he could get more than half of this, in just one run and set us up to get the rest in just a few carries. That could even be a play you take too, with the hit rate on that one, more than 14.5 for the long rush. That could work too. Regardless of which one you choose, I mean, I think he'll hit both. So Jackson Arnold, more than 33.5 rush yards, we're taking it. And last up, we are taking Haynes King, more than 48.5 rush yards. And, same thing as Jackson Arnold. This is just what he does to help his team win down there at Georgia Tech. And as far as the amount that they're running that 60% of the time as well, and Haynes is getting about a quarter of the carries. Now, a tougher matchup today, going up against Clemson. Spread is only 2.5, though. And Clemson's ranked, Georgia Tech unranked, but they think it's going to be a close one today. So, I mean, if that's the case, they won't have to abandon the run to try to pass to catch up. And I think 48.5, he should be able to hit this today, no problem. He did it last week against Colorado, big game last year too against Georgia. He came through there as well. Now it could get bumped up higher, closer to game time in a few hours here. So I'd get on this one now. And just to show you guys a bet I've locked in already, did this one over on Boom. We took Garrett for the completions, Haynes for the rush yards, and Jackson for the rush yards. Had a little 25% boost available on this one too, so we're hoping to turn 10 into 70. And if you want to see all the bets that we have made ever on the apps that track them, or the apps that get tracked by the Pickett app here, you can look us up with their screen name at Carpsy151. You can see we're up about 257 units all time, and we play $10 a unit, so do the math on that one. And Pickett, they're still doing this for you. If you download their app with our link below using code WINBIGPICKS, all you got to do is sync up a sports book to the app. Once you do it, they'll give you free money. Yes, free money to download their free app. They'll give you $3 right to your Venmo or PayPal. There's a chance that $3 could be $100 too. So really, there's nothing to lose. It's free money. Go check it out with our link below. So that's going to wrap it up for us today. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe down below so you're ready for tomorrow's breakdown. I got some big plays lined up for the NFL that you're going to want to check out. So I will see you guys tomorrow.